them anymore. So
Yeah.
there's no point like going in and like you want to the myth that people have is that you gotta win every single game, and you're gonna be interested in the chat. Cleon and I did a show together. It's gonna come out hopefully by tomorrow. I'm just waiting for the artwork. Oh, the stream stopped.
Yeah.
Oh, the stream health isn't very good. I wonder why. It's I think because this is like peak time in Asia as well. So
Oh, is it?
I mean, it can be peak time. Sometimes it's not. It's not always like that. So I'm wondering why. Because I'm not downloading any shit. So that's the link. Might get
Mm.
better. Or I might stop the stream if there's an issue. But on today's show, it's not really gonna be like you're not watching
Oh, is
anything.
it?
I mean, it can be. We're not
Yeah.
watching anything. Well, you're not watching much because what we're gonna do today, because I still want to sort out your. You see, okay, this is how we do our sessions. There's basically four broad processes that you go through. I mean, there are a lot of mini steps inside it, but they're basically four
Yeah.
strokes. The first stroke is I need to make sure that you understand the tactical creator really well, right? That's the first thing. The
Okay.
second thing we do is we work on attributes until you understand attributes well. I mean, I'm gonna ask you a lot of questions, and you're gonna start thinking about attributes in a different way, and
Okay.
that is very important for us because later when you go to transitions and you see a transition, you're gonna get frustrated, and then you're gonna be like, I'm not sure. You're not sure. But the thing is that this game isn't about absolutes, which is
Yeah.
something that most people seem to think it is about. When in reality, it is about what could possibly be the case, and then it's like it's meant to be like real life. When you see somebody playing badly on the day and he played well the last game and suddenly he comes into this match and he's not playing really well, there has got to be a
Yeah.
reason. You can't absolutely say that it's because he's got low this or low that, because there are other factors in the game, and it's something that drives me insane. Why I always get these questions on the forums, and I always get these questions who ask me. And there was one I think somewhere towards the end of FM17, I was really getting annoyed with somebody because he
Yeah.
tried to pigeonhole everything. Like he would come in and go, and he would categorically state that you should play like this, and these are the settings. And I would get very annoyed because um there is no rule in the game that says poor teams need to play a certain shape or good teams play
Yeah.
a certain shape. There's nothing in the game like that. That this can't be further from the truth. I mean, that's so far from the truth. It's unbelievable. But
Yeah.
then, but he writes everything else very well. So when he writes that one paragraph inside this well-written article, then people take that one paragraph to mean gospel. So
Yeah.
and then I get like, oh God, how am I gonna stop this shit? So and Cleon says something very, very true on the show. He says don't read the forums.
Yeah.
Cleon actually says don't read the forums. Okay, which is true. Half the stuff that is written on the forums is all bullshit. It's all crap, and
Yeah.
it's like I have to fight like a fucking madman just to tell people, this is wrong, that is wrong, and I'm tired of this shit. And so on
Yeah.
that show, you will find me spewing a fair bit of vulgarities on our first podcast because me and Cleon are like, fuck yeah, fuck balls, and fuck shit. Then I realized after doing the video, I went, shit, it's good. This is gonna affect my branding because
Yeah.
I'm getting more and more subscribers now, right? Now,
Yeah.
if this goes in and then people do, oh shit, we can't brand on channel because this guy is all about fucks. So like then I'm screwed. So I spent the better part of the last 12 hours trying to edit that shit out. So wherever I can't edit it, there's a beep sound. So there's one period where it was every 2 words out of my mouth is fuck. It's like I think people will realize it because it's ing. I left the ing inside it. Okay, so ing,
Yeah.
ing. So you can hear ing all the way. So I was like, yeah. And I even had one line which was no house walk the dog piece of shit. I even said that on air. Then after I decided, no, I'm taking all this out. This is too much already. I'm like really frustrated. So I took out the door house walk the dog piece of shit out of there because it was about people who like they copy other people's tactics, and
Yeah.
then after that they reduce the reputation. See what they do is they make the reputation really low. Okay,
Yeah.
then they go and apply for a job at Barcelona. They download somebody else's tactic and they expect to win the fucking title.
Yeah.
So that's why I call them the no house walk the dog piece of shit. I actually said it on air because I couldn't be bothered. Because we've got a lot of them. They
Yeah.
so the whole thing about the way I approach this game is, so when we're coaching, right, it's very important for me. Okay. Even Cleon is worried. He just sent me a message. So it's like, did it sound okay? I'm like, yeah, I'm gonna have to respond to him later. Yeah, but it should be fine. I mean, we the YouTube version is still cool. I'm still gonna fine tune it a bit because I already edited it. I'm just waiting for the artwork to come from this guy from Fiverr. So he's doing all the artwork for Photoshop for me because I haven't got an artistic bone in my body. When I draw a person, it's a stick man. Okay? I can't draw for Jack. Okay? I can't even. I mean, I can come up with. I mean, I can do videos. That much I can do. But most of the stuff I get people to do, like the videos editing is all my own. All that is me. Me myself. That I can do. But when it comes to Photoshop,
Yeah.
me out, man. In no way I'm gonna understand what all these stupid Gaussian filters is supposed to be. I've learned a long time ago. I'm good at certain things, and certain things I'm willing to learn. I did learn a bit about Photoshop, but that was like 25 years ago.
Yeah.
Photoshop was 25 years ago, and today it's not the same shit. Okay, so
Yeah.
so
Imagine.
yeah, no way, man. Even then, I was like sitting down in front of my graphic because I used to produce shows. I have a graphic designer, so he does all my designs for me. So he'll design. I look at
Oh,
it.
okay.
So he do all the graphic work, and I'm looking. Oh, this looks good. Yeah, can we do this? Can we do that? And he's like doing it so easily. But I can't do that. So
Yeah.
yeah, and I realize if it reduces my productivity. So I have to outsource things that reduce my productivity so that I can increase my productivity with certain. Makes more sense that way.
Yeah.
So that's why it's better this way. Ever since you guys have been supporting on Patreon, I'm getting better shows out as well. So I can do all these getting started series. Can just outsource the stuff out. They can do for me the titles and the thumbnails, and I just concentrate on getting the shows delivered so that you guys. And then I'm also formulating a whole like maybe 4 or 5 other shows for you guys as far as coaching is concerned, because you need to nail the tactical creator. That's important, but that's easy stuff. That you are, once you understand, it's very easy. The hardest stuff is the attributes part. See, because attributes and transitions are linked together, so you need to understand attributes, then you need to do a transitions, and that's where your ding dong starts. Okay, you'll ding dong into these 2 areas for a while before you go into the tactic itself. Then, because all along you'll be making your tactics, right? So you will only learn whether your tactics are on and off if you start getting better with attributes and transitions. Because 99% of you can get tactics right. Most of you get the tactics part right. It's just when you're doing the tactic itself, then like I've seen so many people, they come up like this guy in the forums. He just came up with this really good tactic. I mean, I looked at the tactic, yeah, this 4-2-3-1 can work. Then he goes, why is my playmaker not contributing to the striker? Then I'm thinking to myself, first up, you don't know your attributes, do you? So I looked at his attributes and said, yeah, your playmaker has got no strength, no balance, and he is a strength, balance, and one more thing he had a problem with. So I said, your playmaker is probably not going to be very good under pressure. So have you been seeing shit? So I wanted to say that because, but the thing is, you need to get that part right. So once you go attribute, bang, and this, you come back in again. So what we're doing right now for this session is basically, I know it's going to be, it's a bit boring, but it is necessary because our last session we did attributes, right? With a team.
Yeah.
You were doing one team. So today you got a random team. I pick a random team for you. Okay. So now you've got this random team in front of you. You never played Sampdoria before, right?
No.
Oh, good. Sampdoria, man, it's a classic
club. I have like years back when they had Palumbo, who was just an animal.
Okay, very good. So now I want you to do. You don't have to look at me video, but never mind. It's okay. What I want you to do is go through your. Okay, first up. All right, let's look at your goalkeeper first up. So now you look at your goalkeeper, and then pick your starting goalkeeper and explain why that is he's your. I mean, okay, yeah, why he's your starting goalkeeper. This is a sad club. Who would you pick as your goalkeeper?
Probably Viviano.
Yeah, but Viviano is injured, right? So you would definitely pick. Okay, there are two reasons
So
why
it'd
you
be
have.
Puglioni.
Yeah, okay. That okay. First up, you went for the obvious choice, which is there's only one first team player there, Viviano, right? He's the first team goalkeeper. There's no other goalkeeper.
Yeah.
But when you look at Viviano and you look at Pugioni, what is the biggest difference that they both? What is the biggest difference between the two of them?
Viviano's better at one-on-ones and reflexes.
Yeah. All right.
Has
Okay. Yeah.
better physicals as well.
Yeah. That is true. But Viviano is also going to be slow coming off the line. Then the other thing about Viviano that you have to understand is that in between the two keepers, right, he has less vision. So, while he is great, he's what we would call a good ball stopper.
Yeah.
Okay, he's a very good ball stopper. Now, Pugioni is actually a decent ball stopper. He's not fantastic, but he has the ability to distribute the ball with his feet. However, at this age, he's probably not going to develop because his vision is 11. So
Yeah.
if you were to create a tactic built around playing the ball out of defense, right, and using your keeper to generate quick counter attacks, you would be looking for all the normal attributes and vision. Remember that,
Right.
So you'll be surprised how effective it is in the game. Good goalkeepers with good vision are deadly in this game. They're very, very good.
Really?
Yeah, they're very good in this game. But it has got to be part of the whole tactical setup of your play out of defense. Your keeper has to be sweeper keeper. He needs to be willing to take some risk like a support. And because it's a combination of vision and kicking. Right?
Yeah.
So I sometimes go all out to look for keepers with vision and kicking to. And the sad thing is that with all the videos I've been doing, I haven't really even started my own save.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I haven't started my own save. I have to finish. I told myself I'm gonna finish like 2 more getting started. I'm gonna take a break from getting started. I think there's a fair bit out there already. I mean,
yeah,
I'm getting a lot of requests now. Some really strange teams as well, and I'm like, I think I should continue, but it will be like once a fortnight or once a fortnight, and cut that down a bit because I think getting some of the bigger clubs out is more important. And then people want me to do a getting started with an LLM site. I'm like, huh? You gotta be joking, man. I mean, let me play my game. And the people are also telling me, you got no guts, is it, to play LLM? I'm like, dude, I've always played LLM. Have you want to play the diffuse challenge with me? Let's see. Come on, let's go. I will probably play the diffuse challenge because I've never missed it. Okay, now when it comes to your central defense,
what is diffuse? Isn't that just what you did with Gloucester, though?
No, Gloucester's one wasn't really the diffuse challenge. The diffuse challenge is even more hardcore than Gloucester's one. The Gloucester challenge I wasn't very hardcore, so I never call it the diffuse challenge. I took some elements, but I did not call it a diffuse challenge because in the diffuse challenge, I would have absolutely no badges, but I went to Gloucester with badges.
Right.
I think it was international because I told everybody, I was very straightforward from the start. I'm not going to be a no house because I want to quickly start developing youngsters in my team because a long-term plan for me was to do a youth development save.
Yeah.
Because if not, it'll take forever. Then I'm like, I mean, you want me to start youth development when FM18 is around the corner? That's a joke.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I don't think there are other people out there doing those kind of shows. Go watch them if that's what you want. But I am helping people understand the game, and if I don't get to the youth challenge part, then I'm not helping the community, am I? I'm just like trying to prove that I can do it. That's like, forget it, man. I've done that before. Not trying to sound
Yeah.
cocky or arrogant, but if I want to help people, I need to have time. Okay, now let's look at your central defenders. We look at your central defenders. Give me the story of your central defenders. Explain to me what they're like. What is the weakness of your
Okay.
central defenders? And who would
I'm having
you...
a lot of trouble hearing you, by the way.
Oh, do you have... Oh,
It's
sorry.
like really, really staticky, or
Can you hear me now?
like breaking up a lot.
Is it still
It
happening?
seems like there's a lot of static.
There's a lot of
Yeah.
static. Is there still a lot of static? I'll call you again on Skype. Hold on.
That's a little bit better.
Is it?
But yeah.
Is it better now?
Yeah, it's better now.
Okay,
Don't know
good.
what you did.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. Something. I think some
Okay.
some animal was around the corner. Okay. Yeah. Okay. So let's go through your central defenders and tell me how would you pick your starting central defenders and what the weaknesses of those central defenders are and what you would do in a game. What would you be paying attention to with these central defenders?
Okay. Matthias Silvestre is the defender that has the best like positioning, got all right anticipation, aggression, bravery. I looked at the team reports as well just to see where we stack up in comparison.
All right.
And it was not good.
Okay. Why do you say that?
We have, well, our defence has the worst heading, the 19th worst jumping,
Yep.
the 19th worst tackling,
Yep.
17th worst marking, 17th in positioning. So our defence is miles off where they need to be in comparison to everyone else. So our positioning, for example, is 12.3, and the attackers off the ball average is around 15.
Correct.
So odds are that our defenders won't be able to deal with any sort of movement at all.
Good. All right. Now, but in your defender, let's say now that's a general thing. But when you look at your defender, okay, if you had to play Matthias Silvestre, what would be your biggest concern with him?
Concentration.
You can't play what kind of a game? What kind of strategy would you, if you were playing, would you start looking at him very carefully?
I couldn't play. Well, if it was a high line, you'd have to be pretty worried because the ball's over the top, and is he going to be able to track a run going behind?
Yeah, but because basically concentration affects a lots of things. Like he might be good positionally, but high pressure games or even a game where there's a low tempo could affect him. So you got a problem with this guy. Okay, he's okay, but you basically need to watch him. And if you are playing him, now when you look at these, you can understand why this club went and loaned Gianmarco Ferrari.
Yeah.
Okay, because first up, Gianmarco Ferrari has got the best jumping and heading. He's the best person in the box. Right,
but he's also got terrible bravery, which is an issue.
Yeah, it's terrible bravery. Correct, terrible bravery, but you really don't have much of a choice.
Yeah.
So this is one player, because if you look at the rest of the defenders, you're probably gonna play Vasco Regini on the flanks, right? And then that leaves you with Matthias, Gianmarco, and Joachim Anderson. Basically,
I would play Strinic over Regini on the left.
Who?
Strinic.
Oh, I was watching. I was looking at the central players. Yes, Strinic.
Oh, I see.
Okay. Yeah, good. I had done Vasco Regini. Okay, Vasco Regini is 26 years old, right? So if I were to, so what is your defense? Who are your defenders when you play this game? Who would you pick to start the game?
Well, Ferrari's got to be an automatic pick.
Okay.
I would probably play Joachim Anderson over Silvestre in big games. Okay. Or if they've got any sort of aerial threat.
All right. Okay. You got a problem with Joachim as well, right? Joaquin may not be a 90-minute player.
Right.
Why do I say that?
Poor natural fitness.
First, his natural fitness is low, and the other thing is his determination is also 13. I'm not saying that determination is causing this, but I would be looking at his natural fitness 11 as well as pace and acceleration. So I'd be a bit worried about that combination.
Right.
If I'm playing a very aggressive game, he could be one of those guys that gets worn out very fast. Right? And he's got one dangerous player trait that combines with that, dives into tackles with aggression. So if I were to play Joaquin Anderson, I'd be very concerned if we are moving into the latter half of the match and he's already on a yellow card.
Yeah.
Okay, so this is how you analyze players. You gotta start getting better at this. But never mind, it's just a start. I don't expect you to jump into the deep end and go, oh wow, you understand everything. But you see, because I wrote a guide called the 12-Step Guide to Tactics. Now, when it comes to tactics, right, whenever we think of players, it helps that we've played football before. Really, if you have played football before, I guarantee you it's easy. Why? Because you'll be thinking in terms of your actions, like what you would actually be doing. Right, so if you'll be thinking along those lines, and then you'll be looking at the attributes that come first in your head, right? So this is what you do as well when you are looking at the attributes. What you do is, if you're going to be playing the game, what is the first thing you think of? If let's say if you need to go up and tackle somebody, what's the very first thing? You need the determination. Okay, all right. Then you're looking at I spoke about his natural fitness 11. For me, I looked at this. We know he's got decent determination. We're not saying he's the best, right? He's got decent determination. 13 is still decent. His composure, maybe not so great. His anticipation, maybe not so great. But he's 21 years old. Remember that.
Yeah.
Joaquin Anderson, if you can unlearn his dives into tackles, you reduce the risk.
Right.
So, if I were to play Joaquin Anderson, the first thing I do is, I look at him and say, well, on a scale of 1 to 10, he's got the attributes in the right places. That much I do know. Okay, first thing we're going to do with Joaquin Anderson is, immediately when I join the club, get rid of your dives into tackles PPM. Stay on feet if you can, but don't bloody well dive into a tackle. He's aggressive, I know, but stay on feet instead. So the first thing we teach him is to stay on feet, because that will help him not diving into tackles. The second thing we're going to do with him is, we're also going to start working on his quickness.
Yeah.
And that, put him on a fit. If it's him alone as well, I might want to put him on the whole, like the club, for 3 months of fitness training every time. The 3 months of fitness training is probably going to be during low fixture periods.
Right.
So it's either I start at the start of the season, but I never do, because it has to be 3 months consecutively. It cannot be like 1 month, 1 month, 1 month. So you have to do 3 months in a row. So if you're gonna play fitness training, then you also have to look at his intensity, make sure that he doesn't get injured, because he's got a combination of stuff that might injure. So you're gonna have to look at his susceptibility. So you have to develop this player, because he can be an asset. He can play for you. So for me, I would have gone with Joaquin Anderson to play for most of my games, with Gianmarco Ferrari as a starter. Right? Now, the other choice I would have made would have been, there's a part of me that would have gone with Matthias Silvestri, because he is, after all, the player with the best positioning.
Yeah. Okay,
he's got the best positioning. Now, I can still use him in most of my games, but the person that starts might be him, and I may be rotating Joaquin Anderson through him. So Matthias starts, Joaquin comes on. Matthias starts, Joaquin comes on. So I've done my rotation plan already.
Right.
And you have to remember as well that Matthias Silvestri is first team.
Yeah.
So unless you get rid of him, you have to play him. So this is so you need to, when you do your attributes, you go through those steps. And then you develop. Now we understand our players. We see we've understood our players. Now we also know, okay, So if I play Matthias Silvestri, I have to be very careful. Probably I will start with this. If I start playing a game, control structure might not be a bad move, right? With the DM in front.
Yeah.
Why? Not fluid, not too many players, not too much. I don't have to ask him to be too creative. It's okay. Because you have to remember, fluidity does not mean that your team plays creatively. Fluidity tells your team to play creatively. There's a difference between the two. Now, what will happen is this. With some teams that have got low attributes, like low flair, low vision, low decisions, okay? Telling them to play more fluid is actually like telling a bunch of children to think out of the box when they don't want to do something new. Okay, so this is where I look at how I see fluidity. I'm more likely to tell a good team to play structured and a poor team to play fluid, if I wanted to. However, playing fluid with this team could be dangerous. Why? Because the attributes like his concentration is weak, right? I would be like, I would start off flexible with this team. Like in my book also, same thing, structured, flexible, then maybe fluid.
Yeah.
That's my philosophy in life. Structured, flexible, then maybe fluid. I don't go fluid, flexible, structured, okay? I'll go structured, flexible, fluid. Sometimes I start off fluid because I want to be a bit more dense, I want to move my team around, but more often than not, I'll drop back to structured. Even when I play Overload is always played on structured. I've never liked playing Overload and fluid. If Overload and fluid is just too psychotic. Alright, so we've done all this, and then now we got the two fullbacks, right, left and right. We got Vasco Regini and we got Ivan Strinic. So it's a very obvious who you're gonna pick, right? I think I know who you're picking because you got no choice in this lineup as well. You have to play Strinic because he is the key player. Alright, so we got our defenders, and then the right side, you have a similar. Right side is not so bad because you've got two players there. You got Bartosz whatever his name is, Berezzinski. I don't know how they pronounce his name. Shit, man. Yeah, somebody just corrected me with Kieran. Yeah, that was not so bad. I was right, Chiaran. No, what the hell, Kieran? Oh shit. Okay. Yeah, because I met. There's a guy from SI. His name is also Kieran. Yeah. All right.
Okay.
Yeah. I call him Chiaran. And then after that, he corrected me. Oh, my name is Kieran. Oh, okay. Whatever. Okay. Okay, so we got Bartosz Berzinski, okay, and we've got Jacopo Sala. What is the difference between okay, in terms of, okay, again, now let's do the whole, tell me the story of Bartosz Berzinski and what would be your biggest concern when you play this player.
Okay. Well, one concern is natural fitness is 10, which means he's probably going to be injured a lot or not be able to see out 90 minutes.
Yeah, that's true. Even
but
though
he's got good stamina, though.
He's got good stamina. You see, that's the thing. So here you have to look at the medical report when it comes out. This is very important. The medical report is not going to be very important for this player because his stamina, his acceleration, his pace all seem to say that he's very good. And then he's got natural fitness of 10. So it's either he gets injured a lot, or he's one of those kind of players that gets a lot of those short-term injuries, like 2 days out, 1 day out, 2 days out, that kind of thing. Because they've tuned injuries in FM. Okay, that's good. What's the other thing? There's one more thing I'm actually more worried about.
Decisions.
Correct. Does he know when to go up?
And his anticipation's poor as well.
Correct. So whenever you play Bartosz Berzinski, what do you have to be worried about? What can you do with him? What can't you do with him?
Can't put him in an attack duty.
Oh no, in fact you should put him only in an attack duty.
Oh really?
Yeah. It's the opposite. When a player is useless defending, don't ask him to defend.
Right. Okay.
Ask him to attack. You see, the difference here is this. Okay, let's just put it this way. If you know he's not going to be a good defender, why ask him to defend?
Yeah, true.
Correct. So what you do is you create a system where you know he's going to go attacking so that you have to compensate for him to go attacking. Instead of you hoping that he can attack, and then after that finding out that he's not that good at it anyway.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I would, if I were to build a tactic around him, I would go like, okay, fine. Why don't you just go attack? Because your acceleration is 14. That's fine. You may last one half. If you don't do so well, at least I can bring on Jacopo Sala.
Yeah.
You see? So Jacopo Sala can come into the second half. But Jacopo Sala, the first thing I do with Mr. Jacopo Sala, and the very only thing I do with him, so you know that the thing about Jacopo Sala is this. He is more than just he's just a simple old fullback. Okay. He plays in a few positions on the flank. He's a fullback on support, he's a winger on support. He's not your he's not somebody who is an all-rounder. Right?
Yeah.
He's just an average player. Okay. So if I were to play him, okay, he'll be on support duty for sure, or defend duty. I just leave him on one of those two. But both these players tell you that the right flank is vulnerable.
Yeah.
That is your immediate, you know that immediately. Right flank is very vulnerable. Left flank doesn't look so bad. You got Strinich, okay? He's okay. And we've got Mr. What's his face? The other guy, what was he? No, not
Nicola Muru as well.
Yeah, Nicola Muru. Both of them are okay. You see? So both of these guys, they can defend. So you got no problem on the left flank. The question for you on the left flank is what kind of a system can you play? So now you can play with a 4. You can play with a 4 at the back. You can play with you can only play 4 at the back. You can't play a system with 3. You can't play with a 3-man defense, right? So you can only play with a 4-man defense, and then you have the option of playing with a midfielder on the left already. When you're looking at this, when you're looking at the back line right now, why? Because if you can play, you have to play Ivan Strinic. That's one player. Then you can play with Nicolo Moru, who's also a very good player. He's also a first team player. So you basically got a left and a left both needing to play.
Yeah.
Right, so you got 2 left.
Dodo, who's also.
So this is
first team as well.
All right. So you out of necessity, you have to play. Whether you like it or not, you have to play both of them. It's your first day on the job. You got no choice. You got to play both of them. Or else they're just gonna leave you and go somewhere else. So what are you gonna do with the right flank then?
You put Ferrari at right centre back.
Who's Ferrari?
Is the better defender that they loaned in.
Oh, sorry, Gianmarco Ferrari. Correct.
Yeah.
You push him to the right. Okay. Now you got a fullback and an ML on the left flank. Okay. You got 2 defenders.
Yeah.
Now you got to think about your right flank. Because now you got your right flank, and you have a right flank where you know that you have no choice. You probably will have no choice but to play a attacking fullback on the right flank, right? Because you got either Jacopo Sala or the other little defender. Who's the other one? The one that can't do anything. Or Bartosz Brzezinski. Okay, Bartosz can't do much, and Jacopo Sala. He is okay. He at least can. He also can't do much. So you got 2 players who really can't do much. Okay, both of them have an issue. So what do you do?
Play a DM. I don't know what the answer is there.
Oh, I think. Oh, be imaginative.
They don't have a right mid. So it's not like I could just play a right mid in front. They've got Gaston Ramirez, but he's got terrible teamwork, terrible work rate, terrible tackling. He's not going to help defend. Terrible concentration. He's not going to help shore up the right.
You see, remember that one of the things that you can do, right, is instead of worrying about the wing back on the right, now you remember that in your system, right, earlier when you looked at your tactic,
you have
defender on the right who can't do anything. You got a defender on the right who can't do anything. Nicholas sorry, let me sort out the right and the left because it's all messing up. So you got Jacopo Sala, he can play on the right, but he's bugger all. You got Brzezinski who can play on the right, who's also basically as good as he gets. He's not that fantastic. He's got no decisions. Got general average off the ball. So either you trade him or you use him or you do something with him, but he has to develop. So the question now remains, how can you play these guys? So if I was the guy who was playing this game, all right, I'll be looking at several options. The first option might be I use somebody else as a defensive midfielder and retrain Jacopo Sala as a. Maybe I'll just retrain both of these guys, Brzezinski and Jacopo, to be midfielders. So I turn them both into Brzezinski and Jacopo. They'll play on the right flank.
Yeah.
Okay. So that's what I would do straight away. I'll get them both to be wingers. What's the other option that you have is very, very obvious. The other option that you have is to look at your central midfielders and see which of your central midfielders has what it takes to be a inverted wingback. Inverted wingback.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, just think about who can be an inverted wingback, because now all you're looking for is a player who's got passing, decisions, tackling, vision. And that is easy because you got a few. You got a few. You got more than enough. So you got a lot of players who can play as defensive midfielders. You got loaded with defensive midfielders.
Yeah.
So now what you have is the option of playing a defensive midfielder here in your defensive midfield slot, and you also have the option of playing a inverted wingback on defense or support as another defensive midfielder. Now this guy on support, when he plays, he will push up in front of the DM on support, and because you got Brzezinski or whoever it is playing on the right as an orthodox winger, you definitely now have the option of playing a game where you can explore the wings, use your two DMs, and you still have security down the one flank.
Yeah.
So it's not like it's the wrong thing to do, but like you can even go totally asymmetric here. So you can drop one of the strikers into the hole, and you got yourself an asymmetric system. I mean, you could also go. You can also go all the Lujo on people if you think you can get a key out of this. Yeah, I mean, you can't really get a K, but at least you can try. But I don't think you can. More like this. Okay, more like you could. I mean, I'm just having some fun, but yeah. So you could definitely go asymmetric. It can work. So you see, when you look at your players, and you shouldn't be pigeonholed into, you shouldn't allow yourself to get pigeonholed into a position where I don't know what I can't do anything else. Like here, I'll play him as a winger on support now.
Yeah.
Or a winger on attack, because honestly, just go and attack. Just go down the flanks. Okay, Brzezinski says you're not gonna last long anyway. So just go break a leg, do something. And we'll talk about your injury payments later. Okay, this player can be a deep lying playmaker on defense. He can be a ball winning. He can be a defensive midfielder. You can put any one of those there. Because Brzezinski is going for this inverted wingback and come here, then you can actually get this player to be on attack duty. Now, if you look at your players and you look through your entire team, okay, you got a lot of options now. So let's go to your squad again. So now we see that we kind of solve our problem with the right flank already. We know we can play an inverted wing back. We know we can take one of our midfielders and turn him into a winger. So now we just worry what we're going to do with the rest of the team. So we got Edgar Barreto. Okay, acceleration not that good. Off the ball, 12. Okay, I'm not going to tell you. I'm beginning to start doing it again. So let's look at your... Yeah, you're not going to learn anything if I give you all the answers. Okay, so when you look at your players, what can you... Okay, first things first. When you look at your players, okay, what do you do? Which are the players that you're going to be selecting and looking at first? That's a better way of putting it. With FM18, this becomes a priority, First, you got
squad status.
Yes, that's it. FM18 is different from FM17. In FM17, you can look at your under 23 and put him up and send the first team player into the under 23 squad, and nothing's gonna happen to you. Okay, now that doesn't happen anymore. Now you got to look at the bloody their status first before you decide what you can do with them. So you got to look at the status and see whether you can fit them into your team. If you can fit them into your team, you build a tactic around them first, play the season, win them over, then you try your shit.
Yeah.
You don't try your stuff first and then screw yourself over. Everybody on the ones who I seen people complain. I've seen a lot of people complain that dynamics is very hard. I've read a lot, and everybody is doing exactly that. You know, they go in, they're still thinking, they're still playing it like it was FM17 when the gameplay has already changed in FM18. The gameplay has changed. Yeah. It's a lot more fun, which is the reason why between 17 and 18, I actually enjoy 18 much, but I can't stand match day. That's all. I hate match day with a vengeance. Yeah. I think if they had kept FM17's match day, this game would have sealed the deal, man. It would have been the best game in FM for a long time.
Yeah.
The damn match day screen, they screwed it up with that. That's why I'm so angry with that. That's why my it's like, you know, it's like,
I think the highlights there's an issue with highlights.
Yeah.
I don't see as many transition failures in highlights anymore. Seems to be the only highlights, even unextended, the only highlights end up in shots.
Yeah, I know. It's stupid. So I end up having to watch comprehensive now more than anything else.
Yeah.
It's like I'm forced to do comprehensive, not because I don't think extended highlights show enough of a build-up play leading to a shot.
Yeah.
Sometimes it's like 2 or 3 and next thing you know, you see a shot, and it's ugly as hell. They have a new match controller for FM18. We used to have like FM17 was the best match controller, but that was built with the community. It took about 2.5 months. So there were a few of us in there. There was me and a couple other guys, and we used there was a lot of work on the match controller those days. Okay, so there was like the dream team had it for like 3 months. So we were working on it for 3 months. Now it's a new match controller, and I came in late with about 2 weeks before the public beta was launched, and I just said it's dog shit.
Yeah.
You should have seen my reaction, man. The first day I came in, I was like, you want me to play with this shit? I'm like, fuck you. This is lousy. But you know, but they have improved somewhat. Trust me, it was a lot worse before. Trust me, it was it was a hell of a lot worse. I couldn't even tell I couldn't even tell what was wrong with my tactics. Let's just put it this way. If I can't tell what's wrong with my tactics, think anybody else can figure it out? They'll be like, what the what? They'll be playing their game and going, oh, I'm glad I won. Yeah, I won. It's more like it didn't become a game of football. It became like, oh, we show you the last 3 seconds before the shot to show you the highlight. Like we don't have to show everything. We just have to show the 2 attempts before the shot. I'm like, that's not the highlights. You want to show the whole build up. Yeah, but whoever did it, I don't know. They just don't know football. That's why. The problem with
even play the game.
No, sorry, I shouldn't say they don't know football. The match controller people don't know TV. That's a problem. You see, I used to work in the media industry for like 15 years, so I know how to cut a good set of highlights. Right, I know how to show the highlight. Like you know where the point is, where the move actually started, and it's not 2 moves before. It sometimes starts with a loss of possession by the other team, where the team is able to put it back to the goalkeeper and build the play up again. That's the difference, you see. But they don't show all that anymore, which is very annoying. But never mind, that's another. I don't want to go there. It's just too much grief. Lucas Torreira. Now, when you look at so it is important now that if you have to get a handle of a game, sometimes you have to watch on comprehensive. That's the sad news now. You probably need to watch a few more games on comprehensive because the highlights are still being tweaked, as I can tell. Okay, now you look at the defensive midfielders. What do you see? How could you play them? What kind of a system can you? Okay, basically now, all right. You know when I talk about support roles and when I talk in my book about building a system, I always talk about creating a bunch of players on support, and then you need your creators, right?
Yeah.
Okay, good. So now we already have a backline, but we need somebody to stand in front of the backline, somebody to protect the backline.
Yeah.
So who's that going to be, and why did he choose him? That's a good way to ask the question. I'm proud of myself. Okay.
I would probably go with Carolinity.
Carolinity?
Yeah.
Why did you choose Carolinity?
He's got the best positioning out of my defensive mids for a start.
And
he's got good tackling.
He's got the
marking.
worst. Yeah, but he's got the worst anticipation. Definitely not the best concentration. You see, you need to go mentals first, and I mean the mentals. Positioning. You see, okay. First, you have to think like you have to think like you were in the game itself, right? Okay. First, you need to have the good sense of where to be on the pitch. All right. Then the second thing you need to know is whether you're the sort of player that can smell a danger coming. You see a play happening, because your marking and your tackling and all the other stuff, your acceleration doesn't matter. Because you need to know whether you can read the game first, right? So first you need to be able to read the game. You need to be in the right position. And second, of course, you have to pay attention. Now, if all those three attributes do not coexist together, that means you don't look at them together, then that player doesn't have what we call football intelligence. He's stupid.
Yeah.
Okay. So if you don't have positioning, you don't have anticipation, you don't consider, you're dumb. You're basically, you can have jumping reach of 17, tackling of 20, marking of 20. It does not matter.
Yeah.
Right. You've seen players like that, right? In real life. They're damn good at tackling. They're damn good at marking. But they sometimes in the wrong place at the wrong time. You're like, what the fuck are you doing there? You're supposed to be there. You're supposed to be following that. It happens on TV every single week. You've seen it on TV. Some of the best teams in the land. You see, have you seen Chris Smalling sometimes when he plays like a total doghouse piece of shit? Chris Smalling is one of the worst central defenders in England. Okay, how he plays for England, I don't know. Okay, that guy he's got the attention span of a 5-year-old child. Yeah, that's Chris Smalling. I don't understand how Chris Smalling ended up at United. Okay, it's like I don't understand how Jose Mourinho still keeps Chris Smalling in the side. I'm still scratching my head. He's got concentration.
I think it's purely because it counts towards their Champions League home growth.
I think that's the only reason.
That is literally it.
Yeah, it's English and homegrown. That's the only reason why Chris Smalling is playing for United. If he was not, he's out. If he was Welsh, he's fucked. Okay. So so I think Welsh doesn't count towards homegrown, does it? Does it? No, it does. No, it does not.
Yeah, it depends what team they've been trained at.
Yeah, because homegrown is because he's because England, Paulinho can be freaking HGN. Brazilian can be HGN in England. Because he could he could be 19, 20 and homegrown in nation because he spent like about a couple of years in England. Yeah.
Yeah, it's 3 years at one club before you're 21 years old.
Correct. You can be homegrown in nation, no issue. Okay, but homegrown in club is a different story because you got to be there between 18 to 21. There's a specific age range that you need to be there for. Okay, so now we looked at our players. The reason why I did not choose Carlo Linetti is because his anticipation and his concentration not the best in the world. Okay.
Yeah.
So my first choice would have been either Lucas Torreira, or Edgar Barreto. Now I would have picked Edgar Barreto and turned Lucas Torreira into my inverted wing back.
Yeah.
Okay, so I would have got him because his jumping and hitting is not that fantastic, and I don't need him to be good at the air on the air. All right, I just need him to be good with the pass, good with marking, tackling, good work rate, and decent off the ball. That's all I need from him.
Yeah.
You see, so now this is how you have to think in your game. See, when you approach a game, the first thing you do is whenever you're looking at your support duties, you have to. First you got to look for, I like to think of them as destroyers. The first group you look for are destroyers. This is the group that's going to chop everybody's legs down. Right? That's it. Done.
Right.
Then after that, you need to look for the guys who can do both. Destroy and create, support. Not necessarily create, but you need them to support the creators.
Right.
Because the creator, you can't expect the creator to go and destroy everybody too. The creator must have some time to, say la vie, smell the roses. I see the pass. I see the pass. It was a... where was it? There was a time when we had Steven Gerrard and Javi Alonso in the same Liverpool team. That was the best time that Liverpool fans ever had. Why? We had Gerrard being the hound dog and Javi Alonso had all the time in the world to make the passes.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you're looking for the same thing with your team. Now, okay, we sorted out your defenders and this thing. Now we actually, now when you look at Sampdoria, how do you feel?
it's not quite as bad as I thought.
Exactly. This team isn't half bad because if you look at what they see, you always have to play the game to the team's strengths.
Yeah.
Most people, they go in, I got shitty this, I got shitty that, I got shitty this. But I tell you, look at something else. Look for other things in your team. What can you use? See, this team's greatest strength is its defensive midfield team. They've got very good defensive midfielders. They've got a lot of defensive midfielders. So many that you basically got 3 in the first team. What are you gonna do with them? You have to find a way of playing all 3.
Find a way to play all 3,
yeah. You got no choice. You got to find a way to fit all 3 into your system. So I'm looking at Edgar Barreto. Okay, he can be a deep line playmaker. He can be a defensive midfielder, no problem. Okay, I'm looking at Lucas. I'm looking at Lucas. Okay, you can go down and you can be the inverted wingback. Carol Linetti. Well, if I had to, you can be a ball-winning midfield on support. I'll push you a bit further up the pitch. Then you high up the pitch. Not so bad.
Yeah.
You don't give me that much of a, I don't have to get a heart attack, or at least I can rotate you with somebody else. I can rotate you with the other defense, the other deep line playmaker, or the other defensive midfielder. So one of these two I can play you off the other, because it all depends on what else I have. Because now we have on the right flank. You see, you have an option on the right flank as well. So you can also push him to the right flank. You can push one of these players to the right flank if you need to. Because if you look at their crossing and your dribbling, you notice that they can cross and they can dribble as well.
Yeah.
And he's got off the ball, 13. So Carol Linetti may not be the best at being a defensive midfielder, but he has a lot of the traits that you will look for in an inverted wingback.
Right.
He's got decisions, 13. He's got passing, he's got tackling, he's got some vision, definitely has work rate. You see, for an inverted wingback or a segundo volante, you need this cat. You need most of what he has, even if you wanted to play him as a segundo volante. So you got lots of options with these boys. Yeah, so you got all these options. Right. Now we got our tactic. We filled up 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, maybe 6 slots, right? So we got 6 slots. Now we're looking at the wide left position, maybe the central position for the central midfielder, and other positions along the way. See what other options that you have. Okay, so now when you look at your team and you look at the rest of your midfielders, you got a few. You got like maybe a few more first teamers left. You got Gaston Ramirez, which is obvious enough. You know how you're going to be playing him. So you got options with this guy. So when you're looking at the tactic, well, you can play Gaston Ramirez in a different way. So whatever it is, you're still thinking, shit, I need to play this guy as a first team player. Okay.
Yeah.
Then you got, okay, now I got Gaston Ramirez, I need to play him. So how do you fit players like Gianluca Caprari is not an issue, right? You look at Caprari, you know how to play him. How would you play Caprari?
Defensive forward.
Yeah, he can be a defensive forward. He can be a deep line forward. He can be a defensive forward. He can be a. I would say he can be a defensive forward. He can also be an F9.
Right.
Yeah, but a bit dodgy for the F9.
Intense.
Yeah, I know. He's 23 years old as well. So he's decision making may not be fantastic, but you see, the thing he has is going to move into channels and plays 1-2. So you can play him.
Yeah.
You can play him in a variety of positions. You can even play him with this AM. You can also play him in an AM slot behind the striker.
Right.
So if you were to create a tactic right now, if I were to create a tactic, I would have several options. One, I could play like a 4. I could even play with a 4-2-3-1 with this system.
Right. Okay.
Right, 4-2-3-1, where I would be playing an inverted wingback on the right flank, and what's his face on the right flank as well. What's his name? That player Jia, or what was his?
Berioshki.
No, not the guy. Just now we had Gian. No,
Capriari.
No, Gaston Ramirez.
Oh, I see.
So you could play like you could easily play like you remember just now we had these 2 DMs, right? We have so many DMs. Yeah. So you can play a 4-2, a deep 4-2-2-1-1, like what I have on my screen. Okay. You'll see it very soon. I think the delay is quite long. I'm just seeing your screen change. Okay, we can play like a 4-2-1-1, and then we can also play with a 4-2-3-1.
Yeah.
You can also play with a lopsided 4-2-3, an asymmetric 4-2-3-1 as well.
Okay.
There are a lot of systems that your side can play. They're actually quite versatile.
Yeah.
Okay. They are an extremely versatile team. This is another system that your team can play. It's gonna come on your screen very soon. So the thing is, when you're looking at your tactic, there are options and there are options for your whole team. You know, in where they can be, where you can fit them, how they can play. You can play with like a deep lying. You can play with a defensive midfielder on defense. You can play with a volante and a central midfielder attack, bombing down. You know, going through the middle with a winger on attack on the right flank. That would be a dangerous system. Why? You got two players arriving late into the box.
Right.
You got these two guys coming in very, very late into the box, very dangerous players. Then you got a winger on attack. So you definitely have. I would just play this system. I could play this system and exploit the right flank, for example. Right? It's an unpredictable system that gives me a lot of options. You could also play the 4-1-4-1 that I explained earlier because you can fit. So whenever you look at your players, first you need to understand their stories. No, of course, we're not using Brzezinski here. We're using Gaston Ramirez.
Right.
So whenever you're looking at your team, that's how you need to. It's not you need to like you need to break your team down into the various components as to what they can do and what they can't do, and you need to look at attributes very carefully.
Yeah.
So how was your lesson today? Do you have any questions?
Yeah, it was good. No.
Okay. All right. Because you still have to do more of this.
Yeah.
Do you feel confident? Do you feel confident? Slightly more confident after this session?
More so than I was, yeah.
Okay, good. Because I will not. I mean, the reason why it's not like I don't want you to. I mean, I know everybody wants to start tactics, so everybody wants to, but there's no point if you don't understand. Because I know people who jump into tactics, but they don't spend enough time working on attributes. Like I mean, sometimes I know people want to, but it's like you're not ready to fight yet. You're not ready to get into the ring.
Yeah. So I'm not eager to jump further forward than I should be. I'm just trust your judgment, and I'll go at the pace that you tell me to go at.
No, but I also need to.
My thought processes.
Okay, good. But what I want to try more of is this. Okay, what we're gonna do more and more of this is we're gonna keep doing these exercises more and more of. What am I? Freaking English is going all loco on me. No, we're gonna do more of these exercises. I'm gonna pick another team for you, but we're gonna stay within the same. We're gonna stay within the same difficulty level. You see, this is one difficulty level. Okay. Then you go to another difficulty level. Another difficulty level where the attributes aren't so clear cut. These attributes are clear cut. But what do you do when every single attribute is bad? How do you choose then? See, so that becomes another level because getting you to this stage is not going to be getting you to this level is not going to be that bad. But I think for the next one, what you're going to do is this, because I didn't. I don't want. Okay, you might be asking me, why don't I give you this ahead of time? Right? I don't want to give it to you ahead of time. I want to give it to you on the day itself, so you're forced to think.
Yeah.
Okay, because in the game itself, you're forced to think. When something goes wrong, you have no choice. That moment there, you have to ask yourself what went wrong, and if you trial and error, playing a game, then you'll never figure it out. So based on all of this, now what we've discussed, what I want you to do is I want you for our next session. What I want you to do is I want you to play Sampdoria, right? We've done Sampdoria right now. But now I need you to do a PKM exercise, right? So I need you to create a tactic you think this team is suitable for, and let's see. And you play, okay. Croton. We'll worry about the Croton match. Okay, so we'll send me the PKM for the Croton match. I think. Sorry, what's your first game? Mine is Croton. What's your first game of the season?
Yeah.
Is it? Okay, so yeah, get all the way to Croton, play that first game, and send me the PKM.
Oh wait, no, mine's Bologna.
Bologna.
Yeah.
Okay, all right. So you play Bologna, and then PKM. Take all the notes down. You know how to do the exercise, right? Basically, you look at the transition. Okay, yeah. So you do that one. That's our next session. So it's more like,
okay.
So you take on what you learned from here. Now you need to apply it. Then that's what we'll be doing from this point. So you learn your attributes, you apply into a tactic. Because don't worry if you get a tactic right or wrong. But what we want to do is I want to see how you decided the roles and duties. Because chances are you would have thought the roles and duties. I mean, they're not that hard to. I think for most people, it's attributes. It's not roles and duties. It's like understanding which attribute is important when and under what circumstances, right? Because I think roles and duties are kind of obvious in most cases, unless you really don't play football. Then it's like then I can sense, if you like, I've seen people, they go like they put on the forums, they come up with this tactic. They create a 4-2-4 with 2 attacking fullbacks and 2 attacking wingers, and they ask me why the tactic is falling apart. Then I'm looking at them, she's seriously asking me why the tactic is falling apart. You serious about this shit? Okay, you got like 4-2-4, and you got about 4 players on attack duties, and you got nobody on defense duty in your entire team.
Yeah.
So seriously, like it happens. Anyway, if you have no questions, we'll call it now, so that you can go and take your time and do whatever we need to do. And then for our next session, just get that PKM ready, and then send the PKM to me when you have done the exercise. And take your time. Don't have to send it to me anytime, but when we meet up again next week, then we'll do it again.
Yeah, no worries.
All right.
Good.
Okay, you take care. Have a good one. Bye bye.
And you. Cheers, Ajit.
Bye bye.
Bye.